Okay. Just waiting on things to show Twitch side, and we'll get started. Twitch is acting up today, it looks like. Oh, well. Well, we'll deal with it. Okay. Good morning, or yes, morning at this point, YouTube. This is Harmony Muse with my second in my oh, stepping over my own tongue, apologies. With the second of my Final Fantasy XIV Let's Play videos. Today we're going to focus on the lower level story gameplay. But first, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting a little bit of gear. Right now, while I might be level 5, and some of my gear is easily level 5, I'm still wearing newbie clothing. So let's go get that taken care of. After that, we'll go get started on the main story quest that I had. As you remember, they were seeing people that looked like they might have been the kidnappers around the city. Up at that one apple orchard. What you're seeing here is somebody crafting. It looks like they're either a goldsmith or an armorsmith at that point. Somebody else there doing culinarian work. You see, you can level up as a cook in this game. And that can actually be extremely useful. In as much as, let's see here, that's weapons. I don't want weapons. And they're selling up to level, what the fudge? They're actually selling high level gear. No shit. They've changed it since I used to play. Back when I used to play, to get the stuff around, or you had to go to areas around the level of the gear that you wanted to buy it. So seeing that that's a change. I honestly think it's a good change. And I went too far. Whoopsie daisy. Right, I forget that the Hawker's Alley one puts you right in the middle. Here you can buy dye for your armor. So you don't have to wear the, you know, the bright red look or the slate gray look if you're wearing some of the higher level metal armors. Battlecraft supplier. With war gear. Purchase gear level 1 through 9. You'll notice, okay, and it's separated by, okay, Disciple of War level 5. I'm gonna need the gloves. One important thing you'll notice here is there are stats on that gear. Stats are going to be important. Now, one thing you don't notice me doing is buying a new hat, because even if the hat that I've got's got crap for stats, what it does have is a bonus to XP. You'll be surprised how useful that XP bonus can be later on. Now, let's get to the actual quest. We need to go to Seasong Grotto. Oh, hey, fan. I figure they do that because you're trying to level, say... I don't know if you remember this, but I know I certainly do. Trying to level Rogue was a pain in the ass back in the day. Because if you tried to go buy the stuff higher level than the stuff that was just sold in the alley in town at the marketplace, Stuff that would normally go for $200-300 on the, you know, if you bought it from a vendor, was going for $5,000-6,000 on the auction house. You know, people were hiking up the price something fierce. Okay, so this is where they said they saw the people that looked like the kidnappers. A monument in the middle of nowhere. And there's going to be a cutscene here, I'm sure. You're about to enter an instance battle. Instance battles only occur during certain missions and quests. Take a moment to read the information displayed before answering the call of duty. He said duty. Okay, so lurkers in the grotto, which means I'm going to be fighting stuff down here. Well, to be fair, you level so...
I am the waves that bear. I am the winds that guide. I am the evening stars. I am the morning sky. I am born of the sea, and there shall I die.
Mom, I know you're watching. You remember what you were saying earlier about there not being much dialogue here, that it was mostly text? Here you go.
Thus reads the sailor's requiem, carved into yonder stone. Such words well describe the manner in which the citizens of Lominsa live their lives. It is both a litany against misfortune for those out on the waves, and a prayer that the souls of those who perish on land might find their way back to the sea. Ah, you are the adventurer I've seen around Summerford Farms. I thought myself on the trail of the kidnappers, but it would seem I have missed my mark.
A guru?
Perhaps not.
Give us a kiss, dearie!
As I suspected, the etheric disturbance here is no natural occurrence. Nor is it a coincidence that the two of us should come here in search of those responsible for the disappearances, only to be attacked. But who stands to benefit from the keeping of this secret? Oh, such thoughts must wait. Let us attend to the task at hand, unpleasant though it be.
Oh, no fair! She's got stone skin! That's horseshit! If you're wondering why I'm complaining, sword skin is a skill that you can't get anymore. They took it out of the game for actual player characters. Bogies? For those not familiar with British English, bogey is what the British would call what we Americans call a booger. Now, I'm sure my friend Fan, who's talking and watching, has things he would like to say about the fact that he's seeing stone skin cast on my character when he, on his white mage, can't get it anymore.
Phew.
See that crystal down on the ground? Watch this. It's important.
Hear, feel, think.
These are basically arc words. Hear, feel, think. Well, a lot of visual imagery in this cutscene here. And I'm going to do my best to talk over a little bit of it, because I do believe that they play... No, they don't. Okay.
Crystal bearer. I am Heidelin.
This crystal? This giant crystal? That's basically God in this
there
world.
once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead,
And I'm not even making that up.
presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them.
This cutscene is different from how I remember it.
By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee.
But basically it boils down to
Believe,
that
for the light
your character,
liveth in thy
every
heart.
your character, is one of the chosen few to bear the light of the crystal, the crystals, and the goddess Heidelin, the creator of the world, or at least the light balance of the world, to try to bring light back to darkness. So you're not the chosen one, or you are a chosen one out of many. While you're the one that takes place in all of the major story events, you are explicitly not the chosen
Shine
one.
thy light on all creation.
I think that's one of the best ways to do it. In fact, that's how the sequel world did it. And it was one of my big problems with Age of Conan. In Age of Conan, every character is the chosen one. And when you're
Awake
all
again,
the chosen
are
one,
we?
you're not a chosen one. Or nobody's a chosen one, rather.
Aha! The poor creature's fury was kindled with cruel forethought.
How can you tell that by looking at the back of its neck?
See this blade? I found it in the Gubu's back. I have seen knives of this kind before. They are most commonly used for the cutting of rope. It would appear our culprits are seafaring men of some persuasion, piratical being the most probable.
Okay.
In any
Oh, gee,
event,
pirates
you
around
seem
the
much
pirate
recovered
city.
from your sudden affliction. I confess, I was rather taken aback when you collapsed at the very moment of our victory. Mayhap a surfeit of ether?
Okay. Ether, I don't know how to explain it. Ether is basically, it's like the Force. It's like the Chinese concept of the Tao. Energy field that suffuses everything. It's the source of magic.
I beg your pardon. A towering crystal. I'm sure I don't... Oh! Well, well. This has been a day of unexpected revelations.
See that tattoo on her neck? Pay attention to that. That's also important and significant.
I must continue my investigation. In the meantime, I suggest you deliver this knife to your patron, along with a warning concerning the pirate's probable involvement in this murky business. The days ahead promise little rest, I fear. May our paths cross again, under the light of the crystal.
Now, deity is a complicated thing in this world. There are multiple gods. You know, there are the 12 deities. In fact, there are several things named after the 12. You'll hear a lot of people say by the 12 rather than by God. Or oh my God. You'll see that there's an area in... Ooh, Fate. What's going on with this Fate? Overnight migration. Oh, we gotta kill Mandragora. Never gonna turn down a Fate. You'll also notice there's a little bit of blue on my experience bar. That's rested XP. Anybody who's ever played an MMO knows what rested XP is. But for those of you that don't, that's a way the game tries to make it easier for people who don't live their whole life on the game. They give you a, for the amount of time you're logged out, you get a certain amount onto the bar that during that, or as long as you haven't filled that up yet, you get double XP. Now that stacks with the XP bonus from your guild if you have one, which or your free company rather if you have one, which I do. And the bonus from any XP boosting equipment you have, like my Helmet of Light. This is a game that very much encourages you to play smarter, not harder. Because you see, that just little bit there got me half of a level. Later on, in the higher tiers of levels, you're going to want every single bonus and to make everything as easier for you as possible. Because the grind can get bad. Though I've heard with Stormblood content, the grind is actually fairly quick and easy. I remember even when instances were down, I was watching somebody playing a little bit of the early access, you know, the first day launch. And they actually managed to, I'm not sure how they did it, but what I saw them do was, just from grinding fates like I was doing, they went from level 60 to 62 in just a matter of a couple hours. Okay, I've already registered here. That's good. That's good. Now, where's the guy? A lot of these Gaelic names and Welsh names here. Baldwin, I'm glad to see you safely return. Well, again, I'm not hearing what sounded like all the seven hells breaking loose near the grotto, and I feared I'd sent you to your death. If you were in the middle of that commotion, I hope it yielded something of interest. I'd hate to think you risked your life for naught. Want sailor's knife. He wants the knife back. A blade pulled from the back of the creature you slew at the cave, eh? I agree such a knife would be part of any seafaring man's kit. I'm starting to think that these ruffians or pirates come to lure my farmhands back to a life of plunder. Chances are they didn't take kindly to your appearance on their doorstep and sent a maddened Gubu after you. Pirates have been adding to their numbers as of late. I'd best warn the lads and lasses in my employ to be on guard against their schemes. Huh, you met someone else at the grotto? A woman with a strange contraption? Ah, Y'shtola. She's been in Limsa Lominsa for a good while now. Her studies of the ether often bring her out to Summerford, so her presence to the grotto is hardly unusual. Okay, for a little bit of backstory. The events of the first version of Final Fantasy XIV take place in character 5 years before the events of now. Y'shtola and characters like her in the other starting cities were part of that story. She's an odd-looking lass, but she's not the kind to associate with kidnappers. You take where trust should be lacking in these yeomen of mine who have yet to wholly relinquish their pirate past. The temptation to return to the free and easy life of a buccaneer may prove too strong to resist. You have my thanks. If it weren't for the efforts of the stalwart adventurers like yourself, this farm would be in a far worse state than it is. Just keep lending your talents to those in need. Help bring Limsa the brighter future she deserves. And I get eye drops and healing potions. And XP. XP is good. Now, what's the next job you have for me? Staleward is up to his arms as his hired hands are nowhere to be found. That's sea sloth Severn in his lot, never around when his work to be done. I'd sooner hire you for the sake of getting things done, but then the rapscallions would never learn. Round them up and let them know that Staleward would like a word and don't take no for an answer. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to see what I can do about changing the text size on... Okay. Other settings. Accessibility settings. There's got to be a way to change font sizing. Okay, system config. Okay, I'm gonna check with my guild. Is there a way to... But that's a little bit interesting there. See the difference in size between somebody that maxed out their height meter between somebody who didn't. Not to mention, I think they might be... Time settings, cycle time, text colors, details, font size. $14. Okay. That's about as good as I'm gonna get it. Okay, while we're here... That's where I can hear. Now we're looking for slacking yeomen. Basically, people who are slacking off of their work, and we gotta smack a little bit of sense into them. I think I made the font size a bit larger so people should have less of a problem reading it. There's somebody. You can see the different types of quests in the game. When it has the weird flames around it, that means it's a main story quest. Work, huh? Can't work when my hands are full from this. Like, you know, I'd reach my last skill. You'd never guess what I'm drinking. Swill water. Right about the swill part. Before me to taste the proper grog. Equated fail. Now, one of the parts of an MMO that bring it to me, or that make it important to me, is the camaraderie with your guild, or with your group, with the people who you're playing with. Now we've got 3 more, 2 out in the water, or out by the lake, and 1 down here in the middle of nowhere. Basically, he's wanting me to improve their morale, get them back to working, rather than skiving, rather than, you know, slacking off. You're the old man's errand girl now. Tell my dear old captain not to wet his britches. I'll be along. And just so we're clear, I don't care for landlubbers. Go find the chocobo you rode in on and ride on out. Ah. And you can see us chatting down here. I'm not paying attention to it right now because I'm, well, doing my thing. Not so much a new player, Bullseye. I'm an existing player. This is just my first time back in about a year. So I'm not used to the new system with role-based abilities how they are now, and not having cross-class skills. I sort of feel naked without having an emergency oh crap cure or physic on. Axes were made for splitting skulls, not stumps. You know, I did in my sailing days. Skirmishing. Those of mine did. Those were the days I reckon I'll have to be satisfied taking my axe to trees. And yes, one of our guildies is named Qui-Gon Jinn after one of the few good characters from the Star Wars prequel trilogy. So many things they've changed since I used to play that I really like the changes. The whole not using your stamina to run. That's a godsend for low-level characters. Impressed, all but 7 are accounted for. It's no fault of yours. He squirmed out. I let that worm wriggle through my fingers more times than I can count. But rest assured, next time I see him, I'll put him squarely in the dirt where all such worms belong. A level, and I've got 2 quests to do. Gurkant wants... He wants pests killed. How's a botanist supposed to accomplish field work without a field to work in? Washed up pirates are well and good if you want a field pillaged and plundered, but not when you need it plowed. A lone horticulturist such as myself hardly strikes fear into the hearts of these monsters, but I believe that you might feel much obliged if you rid the field of some mandragoras. With 5 fewer of the sprouting creatures. Okay, so basically go kill 5 mandragora. And what do you want? A Labrys. Okay. There's not just weapons at each level of 5, there's also some in between. For example, you see that 2-bitted axe there at level 8, and the level 8 book for arcanists, and level 8 knife for rogues. Okay. Okay, he wants an oranges taken to the Okay, no choice but rely on that charlatan Severin, even though I'm full aware he's been doing shady deals. More than once I've heard of improper trading with goblins. Okay. Oranges vanished. I want you to confront the bastard for me. There's wrongdoing afoot, so be sure to doubt anything that comes out of his mouth. So where is the guy? Oh, he's down there out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so what role ability did I learn? Let's check. My highest level before was 50. But again, that was 50 a year ago. They put Rampart as a roll ability flat rather than just a gladiator thing. I like that. I like that quite a bit. My highest level that I got to any character to previously was 50. At those times, I had at one time Paladin to 50 twice. Once back in A Realm Reborn where I used the main tank from back in the days when Crystal Tower and Binding Coil were the big things. I got to 50 in Heavensward, but really didn't continue the Heavensward content. As a Paladin. And my last time, again, about a year to a few months ago, I can't really remember. I 50'd both Monk and Dragoon. Right. Because I was doing this as a stream, and because I have people who haven't played the game before that watch me, and probably won't play the game, I decided I would start from scratch, and rather than play my old characters, simply because that way it shows the story. Starting in the middle of the story with established characters that we fought and bled with over the course of the A Realm Reborn storyline wouldn't mean much to somebody. I mean, for example, if I said Thancred is La Habrea, to somebody who hasn't played the game, they wouldn't know who Thancred or La Habrea are. And for people who haven't played that far, a huge spoiler. We'll go up to the straight without a paddle. Is this now so something for the orange, so the old player on all this time? Well, what does it matter anyway? Those goody-goody adventurer types, go rescue my mates from these double-dealing goblins who are just over by the bonfire. Goody-goody? Which is funny because a lot of places I see adventurers as troublemakers, so suddenly I'm a goody two-shoes. I guess I'm a goody two-shoes because I'm not actively stealing from people, I'm just a merc. Okay. Using the movement and active dodge mechanics from the sequel. Tried to double dash, and it didn't work. My own fault. If I wouldn't have come, my dodo would have been cooked. Cooked dodo. Okay, Severin sent you the way you flew down here. I'm sure he sold us down the river. Oh, we sold you down the river, all right. You're just lucky that I showed up. I owe you one. Who could have gotten away from myself if not for Severin shoving me aside. Oh, Severin, you got some splaining to do, man. Nice for that, and I owe you. Suppose I should be ashamed I couldn't clean up my own mess. But a pirate knows no shame. I've no qualms about going back on my word. I'm only giving you this sack because I like the cut of your jib. Take it to Asin and give him my regards. Now, gear doesn't really mean much earlier on. At higher levels, it becomes far more important. These only things I hear are those bagmen, and I don't miss them one bit. Silver's payment. Okay, trust it'll reach him. Okay. So basically, that guy was stealing supplies and stuff and selling them off and taking the money for himself and his friends, rather than taking an honest paycheck. And it looks like my friend Fan ain't feeling too well, and I hope you get to feeling better, buddy. Few things more precious in this world than a good friend, and yeah. Now, I won't be avoiding all side quests while I'm leveling up. I will be getting a few. Specific ones that unlock certain things. For example, I will be trying to do what I can to level up my Grand Company class. We'll get to that when we get there. I will also do each of the dungeon unlocks as I go up as well, simply because I like dungeon running in this game. I like tanking. It's fun. Terrible. That was what I was aiming for. It looks to be all I was owed. Alright, though I'd be telling you false if I claimed I had not held out more hope for Severin. I was even willing to overlook skimming off the top, but to sell us all short in favor of those godforsaken goblins. You do well to mind yourself around that 2-guild sheet. If you leave his own mates for dead, there's no telling what he'd do to you. Taking the Labrys. And I just got an achievement called Storyteller. The achievements, it's like World of Warcraft. They don't really do anything for you other than sometimes potentially unlock titles. Okay, and this gave me 2 strength, and it looks like a double-bitted axe. That you've already done more than the slothful sea slugs combined. They only spent half as much time proving their worth as they talk about it. Okay, now I've got a new quest. What do you want me to do, man? Gurkhan seeks fertile soil to improve the yields of his newly plowed fields. Last at this rate, the crops will never be ready for harvest. If we had Blackloam, we could just send our stalks soaring. I bet Rotweeda knows where you could find some. Perhaps he might pay her a visit in the orchard. Okay, let's go speak to Rotweeda. And yes, you can see there's falling damage in this game. I don't think you can die from falling damage, but you will inevitably die after falling damage from something attacking you. Gurkhan's got a head of cabbage if he thinks I'm fetching him any Blackloam. But if you dare pinch some from the cookpot, be my guest. Just mind you don't get trampled by the Aurochs that dwell there. Once you have 3 bushels worth, take it to Welsh name at Tiller's Rest. He'll know what to do. So I've got to go tangle with Aurochs to get Blackloam. It'll be a good time to go ahead and get a hunter kill marker there. And it looks like it might be a while because I ain't going in for it by myself to fight a boss. See if I can get to it without aggroing the big guy. Crap. Disengage, Serpentine! Run away! Much fear, you don't hurt me. Well, shit. Okay, that's 2. Get the other one. this kill, and then I'm going to get the hell out. And I got, for my trouble, a 1300 XP. Harass is the Tiller's Rest, which is up here. Okay. This isn't even a level 9 quest. Why am I doing it? Guess I could probably go do my hunter's marks, but I don't want to do that yet. Wide loaf? That sounds like some kind of weird STD. Even the weird wither and die in this desolate dirt. Here's some loam. I bet this black loam ought to change all that. Haven't seen any in ages. Translation: it's animal shit. It's organic fertilizer. Gathering black loam's not for the weak of will or the weak of stomach. Don't tell me Gurkha and Rotweed neglected to mention where black loam comes from. Yeah. Surely you figured that out from the cloying stench. It comes from the Aurochs' lair of all places. Ah, well. Why dwell on who misled whom about what? What matters is your efforts have brought us the black loam, and we can expect a bountiful harvest as a result. I've been rooting through animal crap. Yay. Checking something. Okay. What do we get from this fight? Oh, hempen cactus. Need some farm tools recovered. Confounded pirates know nothing of tilling, only killing. Stealing our shovels to melt and forge into axes of all things. Or biting the hand that feeds them, the Meiji mongrels. I'd love to teach those curs a lesson in obedience myself if I hadn't sworn to Salem that I'd fight no more. If you bring back our farm tools, make sure those dogs have reaped what they've sown. So time to go kill us some pirates. Come on, come on. We got much longer, and ow, this is killing the crap out of me. Okay, checking my hunting log really quick. As I said, each different combat class has a log of stuff to kill as you level up. It's banded into 5 tiers of 10. For each group you kill, you get a bonus XP, and when you hit the entire rank, you get an added bonus up here. It's a good way to supplement XP from dungeons, XP from fates, and from questing. Good. See the tools back in serviceable condition. We can say it's fair when we get our hands on them. That wrench. Oh. Despite him speaking to the pirates in secret, I could care less if the waste tool won't work, but when he consorts with cut purses to take our tools away, that's when he's crossed the line. Still, we're not to know those scalawag he's dealing with. Take word to him, would you? Okay. And they're talking about Bard stuff in the FC chat. I don't play a Bard, so it doesn't really apply to me. Honestly, I've avoided playing Archer or Bard for the fact that I really don't like how their skills work. I really don't like having to juggle songs. I also don't like what I've seen of other Bards who refuse to even use their songs and will let mages run out of mana, because to give the mage MP would to cut their own DPS. DPS, by the way, is short for damage per second. We're taking off with our tools. Welsh name did well to take matters into his own hands. The last thing I need is blood on my crops. I'll be damned if Severin thinks he can take us for fools. His treachery won't go unpunished. Okay, might as well take the new leggings. And what do you need me to do? Such a great deal for me last year. Won't let me let down. Yet what I ask of you goes out beyond anything I've asked before. Would you hear my plea all the same? You want me to go wreck his face in, don't you? Stillmer has reason to believe that Severin is up to no good. Something must be done. Oh, I'll go wreck his shit for you, no problem. Seems easy as my mind to have your ear. You're no doubt familiar with that scoundrel Severin by now. Well, that scheming scapegoat is at it again. Since that letter came for him, he's been skulking about in that manner he does when he's up to no good. Now he's rounded up his rogues and buggered off with nary a word to anyone. I've grown accustomed to his insolence, but something tells me this is different. It ain't exactly damning, but when I last had words with him, he didn't look so much defiant as hunted. I can't help but thinking he's gone looking for trouble and found more than he wanted. I was hoping you might hunt his sorry hide down and drag it here before it's too late. Look, here bites me every chance he gets. I can't quite bring myself to cut him loose. Suppose he reminds me a bit of my younger self. Suffice to say, I'd rather he didn't come to a sticking end. As for how to find him, I suggest asking Welsh name at the Aetherite. She was the last one to see him. I dare say she'll be able to tell you where he was headed. Let's see here. New gloves, and we've got new pants. Okay, which are basically thigh-high leggings over shorts. Okay. They're that for guys too, so nothing to be offended about. Okay, so what do you have to tell me, lady? Passes through escapes, so I noticed. I saw that rouser and his rabble set up for Woad Whisper Canyon not long ago, singing and drinking themselves stupid. Our cheeky sod said I should join them. If I told them I'd rather shrivel up than sip whatever it was that pickled their brains. If you find the Edelswine, be sure and give them a cuff around the ear for me. So I need to go find idiots, smack idiots, drag them back home. Oh man, having a chocobo spoiled me. Even this feels like slow motion. Funny part of that is that, from what I hear tell, I never got far enough to do it, but I remember hearing that in Heavensward, the game allowed for flying in the Heavensward content. I said to find them down there in the... Okay. Not jumping, not feeling suicidal today. Some of them look like they got smacked around of the dirty, deceitful, downright dastardly deeds that slippery bastard's done, claiming to take the lads out for a drink only to lead us into a bloody trap. I don't get lower than that. Of course, I learned to stay a step of old Severance, so I was ready with the other sorts, so lucky you've got to help them. Okay, and they are down this way. So, Severin has henchmen and has kidnapped some of the layabouts. Can't help but feel that I'm being led into a trap. My axe may be well have been a white flag for the good it did. I hope you fare better, or those sorry bastards in there are done for. Severin might have got us into this mess, but I ain't about to let him give his life for us. I'd sooner bow to a fishback than be one of the give that conniving bastards to arms. A true knave, you betray even yourself, Severin. And they're kicking the crap out of him. We are prepared to overlook the matter of your desertion on the condition that you provided us with suitable replacements. That was the agreement. Yet your latest change of heart leaves you debt to us unpaid. There are few are they who betray the Serpent Reavers twice. You will not do so a third time. Cowering behind your protector will only delay the inevitable honorless threats. Your life is all you have left. And worthless so it be, we shall take it. Remember this fella? O mournful voice of creation, send unto me a creature of the abyss, my thrall to command that I might smite mine enemies. Uh-oh! So Mage back behind the rock tends to summon up a monster, and even the undead one, or the oh crap, even the pirates weren't expecting it. It seems to remember harder than I remember similar fights. That's basic strategy. If you see an area like that on the floor coming away from the enemy, get out of it. Living is far more important than dealing extra damage. That can't be it. That can't be it. the golem would be vanquished. This woman is no ordinary adventurer. And hello again, Ishtola. The snake slithered away. I'm only glad he didn't have the chance to sink his fangs more deeply into you. What we're seeing now is a flashback. As far as them belong to any of the Wilminson factions, whom do they serve? The Beast Tribes? Surely not. But the timing and appearance coincides alternately with the recent surge in Sahagan and Kobold activity. Something is afoot. The question is what? Could it be that the tribes are planning to summon their primals? 12 help us if they do so. Lemsa would be hard-pressed to keep a single primal at bay, let alone two. As far as primals, what they are, basically, the humans aren't the only race, or the humanoid races aren't the only ones in the world to have gods. The primals are the gods of the various beast tribes. And yes, they correlate to the various classic summoned creatures in previous Final Fantasies. Shiva, Ramu, Ifrit, Leviathan, Bahamut. 12 help us if they should do so. Lemsa would be hard-pressed to keep a single primal at bay, let alone two. But all is yet speculation. I must needs find entrance. So what we're seeing is her memories. The seas continue to rise, while the lesser moon continues to fall. And ilm by ilm the world becomes ever more unlike itself. It is as Louis Soir foretold. The coming of chaos has rendered the laws of nature mutable, blurring the boundary between the material and ethereal planes. Little now stands between us and the primals, but they are not here yet. Though the time be against us, hope shall ever be on our side. Never did the creed of Charleon ring more true. This is visions of what she saw before the calamity. Never did I dream that I would possess the means to see ether, yet now I do, and I take it for granted how swiftly the wonders of Charleon seem commonplace. Here for you. Have you come to for the festivities? Today the Maelstrom officially makes that great hole in the sea its training ground. Join me in the celebrations. Oh wait, a disturbance in the etheric flow, from where does it emanate? Seasong Grotto, perhaps. So basically what I'm seeing is her visions of her memories. That'll be explained. What have we here? Can you walk? Since I know, regrettably he eluded me. Understood, I will inform the Commodore. You collapsed from your exertions. Are you suitably recovered? Severin here has apprised me of all that transpired. His account shed some light on how you came to be attacked by a golem of all things. A golem is a mindless automaton, inert when commanded inert save when commanded otherwise. Common pirates would have no hope to control such a thing, so arcane are its workings. But then these tattooed wretches are no common pirates, they are the minions of the Sahagan. As to their purpose, well, I shall get to the bottom of that. First, I must escort Severin back to his place of employment. I dare say Sailor will be wondering what became of him. As you two, for that matter, I will bear word to him of your preservation. He would like to thank you in person. Pray pay the man a visit. He told me of you. Perhaps tell you, my name is Eorzea. I am a naturalist of sorts, surveying the ether in the hope that it might offer some clues to our predicament. I say I owed you my life, but that don't cover it. If it weren't for you, my friends would be dead and all. Is a debt I never can repay, but I'll not make things worse by running away. Take me to Summerford Farms and I'll face the consequences. Well, I guess nearly dying has a way of bringing actual honor out of a person. I cannot fathom you seem. Forgive me. Mayhap we'll have a chance to speak again when I've marshaled my thoughts. Until our paths next cross, farewell. Now, Eorzea, there, she is cottoning on to the fact that A, I mentioned a crystal, or, you know, seeing the crystal. B, that I just kind of zoned out for a while. These two things are both common, well, not common, but known to the right people. Eorzea is one of the right people. It will get explained later. What time is it? Holy crap, I've already been at this for an hour. So this level I'm about to get is going to put me at level 10. Level 10 is an important level in Final Fantasy XIV. When you finish your starting class's level 10 class quest, that unlocks the ability to join other classes. Specifically, that will allow me to do things like, say if I wanted to go take a break from playing a Marauder, I could go play Arcanist for a while. Arcanist is the spellcaster type from Limsila Mensa. They are technically an offensive class, but can upgrade later to being either Scholar, which is a healer, or Summoner, which is damage. In fact, it's actually recommended that you save your bonus stats when leveling an Arcanist until you hit level 30. So you can choose which one you want to be, or split them evenly, because I know several people prefer to level both Scholar and Summoner. No, I knew you'd return. Eorzea delivered Severin a bit ago. Tales of your heroic deeds precede you. The rest came shuffling back too, a lot of them sporting the same haunted expression. It's me to blame for that and the rest. I was once a Serpent Reaver. After all, the Sahagin 7 Hells Reavers may look and sound and act like pirates, but they're not but the fishbacks flunkies. Us pirates ain't much for laws, but there's things we won't do. We've got a code, you see, and the Reavers never followed a word of it. A few years back, they started snatching law-abiding Laminsons. I'd only just taken my oath when our captain bent his knee to the new Sahagin masters. I knew I had to get away. I crept off one night, gave myself a new name, and found myself a new home, Summerford Farms. Trouble is, secrets don't stay secret for long around here, and word soon spread all the way back to the sea. The penalty for desertion is death, but the Reavers offered me a way out instead. My freedom in exchange for my mates. The letter... I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't bloody thinking, too busy soiling myself. But you got there in the end, didn't you? When the time came, you made the right decision. The men say little to me, but I hear them talk of how you stood up to the Reavers at the last, and how you tried to give your life to save theirs. Be that as it may, no deed, however good, can atone for the crime of betraying your mates. I know that I do, and that's why I'm going to go hand myself over to the Yellow Jackets. I'll bring shame to the farm no more. You'll hear no arguments from me. Each man must sail according to his own moral compass. I just hope yours guides you back here someday. There'll always be a place for you at Summerford Farms, lad. And I'll always be in your debt. The guy is willingly turning himself over to the cops out of honor. I owe you a debt too. And he finally used my first name for the first time. Not once have you let me down. Thank you for saving the enemy farm. If I could ask one more favor of you, it'd be this. Tell Baderon what's happened from start to finish. I'm certain he'll put a good word for Severin if he knew the whole story. And he's one of the few people who the Yellow Jackets will listen to. I reckon I've asked all I could possibly can from you. Safe travels. Okay, so we've done our work here. We've worked for this fella. We made level 9. We're about to hit level 10 when we get back to town. Satisfying bit. Again, it's only been an hour. And they're talking about what classes are better for damage. And apparently red mages and samurai are top tier for damage these days. Not surprising, the new stuff is really, really good. Okay, let's talk to Baderon. Bloody hells, life on the farm ain't quite how I pictured it. You needn't worry yourself about young Severin. The Yellow Jackets, as hands out punishments is... Okay, the Yellow Jacket... as hands out the punishments is a good mate of mine. Ask him this, I'll reckon he'll be willing to meet the lad's sentence from hanging to keel hauling, kindly gent that he is. Oh, that's still technically a death sentence. Well, I'm adjusting with you. I'll see you treated fair. Now, it sounds to me like you've done everything old Stillborn asked of you. Justifying my generous finder's fee in the process. Much obliged. So he made money off of me. As a reward, well, she's a lonely lady, this drowning wench of mine. How'd you fancy keeping her company for a spell with free room and board? Adventuring's a funny business. Them as don't rest their bones every now and again tend to end up with broken ones. Take it from me, fighting ain't nearly so much as fun when you're nursing a shattered arm. Got that? Good. There'll always be a free bed for you, so make use of it. Inn rooms are basically the first step into housing in this game. Now that you don't have, now you'll have that, or not that you'll have much time for laying around. What with all the leaves you'll be doing. Oh, did I mention? Put your name down for leaves. Our guild draws all manner of clients, offering all manner of odd jobs. Honestly, you'll be amazed at how folk pay to avoid doing an honest day's labor. Just talk to Tomokri, a shout. Making a few extra guilds, you'll always have some task for you to do. Okay, leaves. I should explain guild leaves. Guild leaves are basically randomized quests. You get a randomized job that says go here, do this, and you're graded for your reward based on how fast you do it and how or what level above the baseline for the quest that you do the job at. It's or you can have up to 4 active at a time. It's commonplace for people trying to do a lot of grinding of an off job to save all their, save their leave allowance for their off jobs. Go out to where they're going to do their leave grinding. Take 4 active at a time, which is the maximum you can. Get them all done. Go turn them in. Get 4 more, lather, rinse, repeat. It's all above board in case you're wondering. Okay. We're careful to stay on the Admiral's right side in here, unlike some pirates I can mention. I tell you, if it turns out they'd aught to do with the kidnappings, there'll be 7 hells to pay a proper bleeding reckoning. Mayhap that's what Lamenza needs. On rough seas, sometimes you have to rock the boat to ride it. We'll have time for such talk when you're well and rested. Till then, enjoy the wench's hospitality. Not gonna take the helmet because... Wait a minute, let me actually check. I'm taking the helmet. The 20 XP from that helmet of light stops at level 10. Recommendations, the feature displays a list of quests or duties and now available in your area. Recommendations list can be opened from the duty in the main menu. Okay. That means I think I'm ready to start using the duty finder now. Okay, Overpower is a good bread and butter Marauder's warrior attack. Rather than being like, rather than the Paladin Flash, which does an AoE around you, Overpower is an actual attack and is a cone in front of you. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and get his next quest. Hempen trousers, okay. How do you fare? Rested and ready to expand your horizons. Ready where you might try next? I want to try the sky lift out in middle of Eorzea. If you ever visited Whisperwood Canyon, you must have been up and down the thing at least once. There's a bleeding scaffolding attached to the descent. You've likely seen the lad and lasses out there are using it to haul cargo up the cliff face. Hard labor, that is. I hear they could do with an enterprising soul to pick up the odd jobs with no other bugger has time to deal with it. Track down the head of the operation, a bloke by the name of Workout, and be sure to put you to work on a task or two. I'm not going to do this leave, but I'm going to take it. Must diffuse them the praise of your accomplishments if you're not... Okay, because if I don't unlock leaves doing this, I won't be able to do them anywhere else. Document assistance for the citizenry. Okay. Battle. Okay, this is just explaining the type of leaves. You can do them for combat, you can do them for crafting, you can do them for harvesting. We're leaving that be, and now we're going down to, or rather, north to the Marauder's Guild to see what I get for a level 10 class quest. Absolutely going to be getting a new axe and something else. More than likely pants or legs. Probably the leather chest piece. I'm not sure. We'll see when we get there. Is this person's name literally Milady Farts? Are you kidding? Jackasses. Okay. Huh. Well, it's got better stats. Well, I mean, I've gathered information I could about concerning the beast that young Sighard bade you slay. The tales name this creature Kujata. Those who've witnessed Kujata in the terrifying flesh call him the Stampeding Mountain, such as his immense size and bulk. Again, I will not seek to dissuade you from claiming vengeance for the boy's parents. In fact, I encourage it. But to topple this slumbering colossus, you must first become his equal in strength and ferocity. As a single step towards that distant goal, I send you to the Blind Iron Mines. We've had word that our folk are falling prey to the claws of the local Galagos. Your task is to protect the weak from these unruly creatures. Learn to channel the rage inside you, and let your axe blade sing in righteous slaughter. Didn't know slaughter was righteous. Okay, so it's in Lower Eorzea. Okay. But just remember, children, you can't spell slaughter without laughter. Welcome back, Crendo. There is no saving in an online game, Mom. This is a multiplayer game. Now, I can't really increase the text size any further than that. But, like I said, there are no save spots in this game. When you die, you don't die forever. You lose condition, or your equipment takes damage and you have to go repair it. That's about the bulk of it. It's nothing as end of the world as it is dying in a single player game. Just trying to get up to where I can go kill those Galagos for this quest. I do believe I probably have Galagos as a hunt mark as well. Nope. Are they the monkeys? Yep, they're the monkeys. I guess that means it's time for me to spank the monkey. See how overpower hit both of them. That's really what it's good benefit for, is to generate hate and pull more enemies on you at once. And they want me to go back to the guild. Yay. And when I get back to the guild, they're probably going to tell me go to this place and deal with this big timed thing. Or not timed, but instance thing. That usually seems to be the way it goes, from my experience. Looks like somebody fighting or somebody doing something. Base Shiro Ho. Oh. She's crafting. And it looks like it's carpentry. Either that or blacksmithing, maybe. It looked like a grinding wheel. Could have been jewelry. But that's what I like about this Final Fantasy over a lot of the others, is you can change your class in this game at any time once you've joined certain other classes. I could go, for example, learn some Arcanist, level that up, and then change back and forth from them at any time. In fact, what's really convenient about it is the game allows you to save your current gear set. So, whenever you switch back, you automatically equip the previous gear you had equipped for the class. It's extremely convenient that way. Now, it does have that optimize button like we had in Final Fantasy V, but just like Final Fantasy V, it doesn't equip what's best, or it doesn't equip... It doesn't pay attention to things like curses or side benefits, just offense or defense. Welcome back. Your actions have saved many needless from injury and anguish. Though your efforts are to be commended, there is much work yet to be done. Kujata, object of our vengeance, has trampled a farmer's wagon as he thundered through the lands of Tiller's Rest. Foodstuffs spilled from the overturned wain have attracted all manner of predators. Without the produce from the market, the farmers will surely suffer for the coins this season. Your duty is clear. Put down these scavengers and preserve the cargo. That means going down to Tiller's Rest and killing a few beasties. Easily enough done. But as I was saying previously, Mom, there are no save points in this game. You don't need them in MMOs. The closest thing are those aetherites where you can teleport back to. Or you come back at when you die. But as far as saving levels, there's no need to worry about any of that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna go do the... Oh, wait, I gotta go turn that in. Sky left this purchase up here too, wasn't it? Where's Swift Perch? Oh, that's Western Lenosha over here. That's level 10 stuff. Hostile presence, strider. A zebra-looking lizard thing that breathes fire. Because that makes sense. Tougher. Come on. Report back to the Axe Master. Been about an hour 30. Woof. Okay. Now we go from here. And this is why return is very useful. You can use it to... It's like teleport, but only to a specific spot, and it's for free. It's extremely useful early on to return to town or to save yourself a lot of time getting around the world. Once again, your capacity for carnage has been tested and proven. The creatures you defeated, however, were merely some of the many base scavengers that subsist on the scraps left in the wake of Kujata's rampages. To face Kujata himself, you yet require more training, but do not despair. As Axemaster and fellow Marauder, this I swear, I will not rest until I have taught you how to wring every last ounce of power from your weapon, until that blade of your axe can slice cleanly through the thickest hide, the most knotted muscle, and the densest bone. This menace will fall by your hand. You may find yourself drawn to explore the possibilities offered by other disciplines and guilds. These distractions are inevitable and perhaps necessary, but I urge you to soon return to the path of the Marauder. I do not wish your edge to dull just as you begin to show such potential. Fare you well. You now have access to the armory system. Quests to unlock the other classes can be undertaken by speaking to the receptionist in the corresponding guild. There exist myriad disciplines in Eorzea that adventurers can take up. For the most rewarding experience, however, it is recommended that you first focus on mastering your current class. Gear sets, etc., etc. Right, okay. You notice each series of 5 levels I'm getting new quests from them. Let's put on that new axe and that new armor. Leather. And remember what I said about covered up. The only thing showing on this character right now are her thighs, and that's because I don't have proper pants. I have kecks, and that's what they are. Where's the purchase? All right, Western Lenosha. Okay. Now, I'm going to let y'all know, I am not going to just play only on stream. I am going to get a bit of the game played out off stream because I enjoyed this game quite heavily. And if I was to just stream this game, it would take me literally months to get up to current. I don't want that. I'm sure people watching would rather see new content as well. But for now, I've got things I got to get done, and my #1 fan has things she's got to get done. So I'd like to thank everybody very much for watching. Like, follow, and subscribe if you enjoyed the show. This has been Harmony Muse. Thank you, and have a good one.